back to my YouTube channel. My name is Bree. If you're new here, I go by Knots by Bree on all of my social media. If you enjoy crochet content, I make tapestries, plushies, wearables, pretty much anything I can think of or that I think is cool. Consider giving me a subscribe. I just make stuff and then I put it out here for you guys to watch. And if you're interested in that type of content, yeah, give me a subscribe. So without further ado, we're gonna hop right into the video. This is just a quick intro to introduce myself to anybody new. We are gonna be making a few things in this video, 2 purses, a paid pattern and a free pattern, just to kind of put them to the test and see which one is better. And then I also made my very first cutout tapestry and a quick little headband that I didn't get video footage of, but I would love to show you guys anyway. All right, so I will see you guys at the end of the video.
I stayed up super late because I am working on my first cutout tapestry and I got super excited about it. I'm loving it. I did the design based on a popular, I don't know, figure, trinket. I don't want to give it away, but can you guess what it's going to be? I genuinely think this is going to be like so cute. I can't wait. It's going to be perfect for Valentine's Day decorations. This is it so far. Can you guess what it might be? Okay, so it's another night staying up exceptionally late. But I mean, at this point, you can kind of tell what it's supposed to be, I think, if you know. Once the hat is done or the top portion, I think it'll look so much cuter. It's kind of just like a basic little thing right now. But I guess if you're familiar with these, are they figurines? Collectibles, caricatures, you'll know what it is. But I mean, the cutout portion is coming along nicely. Legs, I can see. The shirt. Hopefully it looks like a shirt. These are supposed to be the arms with the heart, the head, and then this is gonna be a hat, and it's like animal hat, so you'll see that once it's done. Okay, super quick check-in. My husband's birthday is tomorrow, so you'll see some footage of us kind of out and about today. It's a really gloomy day, so unfortunately we're not doing too much. Initially he wanted to go to the Topgolf, but we couldn't go because of the weather. But it was just nice kind of being away from the girls for a few hours, and I was accepted into a pattern test that I just finished, and get out my video and look at this cutie. Okay, so this is it. I'm shooting while holding. I don't know why I don't put up my stand. So yeah, I'm still working on this, but that's it for now. I've gotta start the bag probably next week. It'll be super quick. It's more so the charms that I'm worrying about because I really want to do like a cherry drop chain situation. I don't know. It sounds good in my head. So hopefully it will look good in real life. But I'm so excited. Here's me little baby. Is my baby. She just had lunch. She looks crazy. Crazy. But all right. I'm going to get to work and play. And I'll see you guys later. Bye. There's a birthday boy. This video is supposed to be me making the egg bag, and I am gonna make that. I've been putting it off for a really long time, mostly because I'm just not interested in making it. I don't know why, but when I first purchased the yarn for the bag, I was so like interested in it. Like I couldn't wait to make it. So I bought this yarn from Amazon back in like November of last year. And I bought 3 colors. I bought 3 colors, and this was before I realized that Amazon yarn is kind of trash. Like, I purchased the red chenille yarn from Amazon, and I ended up hating it. I think you guys remember, like I said, I'll never purchase from them again. But I think this had already been purchased, but I had just never used it. So I have green, I have white, and then I have red. For the egg bags, we're gonna be using the red. And what kind of has me going like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and make this is because it's my niece's birthday. And so I don't really wear purses or like bags like that. So making it, like visually I liked it. I liked when other people made it, but like personally I'm like, I'm just not gonna wear it. So I was like, okay, I can make it for her. And then that gave me kind of like the motivation to go ahead and get the project done. So we're going to be using this to make the bag. I'm also going to make, I think I'll make her another like lip gloss keychain. I had made her one a while back, just like when I was practicing. I want to make another one that goes with the bag, and I have an idea of what I want it to look like. But let's make like a drop chain for it with cherries. I don't know if you've ever seen like the seed beads that are made, like I'll probably do gold because I just prefer gold, even though I do have silver, and I do like silver and red. I think I'm gonna go with gold. It's just my preference. I think I'll do like gold, and then like in the middle areas put like the little seed bead cherries or something like that. So I'm excited-ish about it. I'm not like overjoyed, but it's because I did my first cutout tapestry, and you guys know I love tapestries, but it's basically the Valentine's Day Sony Angels. And you guys know, like in a future video, I said I was gonna do a like decorate with me for Valentine's Day, and I'm still gonna do that, but I was like trying out patterns and seeing like what I kind of wanted to do. So I used the Valentine's Day Sony Angel, and then I put it into a tapestry, and then I made it a cutout tapestry, which I'll show you guys. And you might have seen some clips of it already in this video because I've been making it for a little bit. About a week. It didn't take me very long to make it. That wasn't the problem. It was just, the problem is that I don't necessarily love it, and that kind of tends to be the theme of almost everything I make because I'm such a perfectionist, you guys. I'm like so hard on myself, and I'm like, I can do better, like it could be better. And I didn't realize with cutouts you should exaggerate the proportions, so I should have taken more risks when making this, because this was my first time. I just didn't want to do too large of decreases and increases. But once I got going and I realized if the decrease is more than 2, you just cut the yarn and reattach it. Like, don't even worry about trying to like decrease across. It's just so much easier. So yeah, I'm gonna grab it. It's just right behind me and I'll show you guys. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. It is fairly large. So here it is. And so what I mean when I say like the proportions, so like for example, the head is attached to the shoulders. I redid the pattern like on Stitch Fiddle, and I went ahead and decreased here so that there is no touching the head to the shoulders, right? And I did a decrease. So that way like this whole portion would have been gone and the head would have been more rounded. Same on this side, I just cut off this portion here. And then I went ahead and brought out the shoulders and the arms so that they came out a little bit more. And then I also, I don't know what's in frame, but I also updated the feet to have more of like, so right here it's supposed to kind of look like a toe area. I updated the pattern to have more of like a toe area cutout. So yeah, the only thing I love beyond measure, honestly, is the hat. Like the cow hat is perfect. It came out perfect. I don't have any complaints. The eyes came out really nice as well. This eyebrow came out right, but I'm not sure. Maybe it was because of the way I was working, but this eyebrow, it's in the right spot, but it looks like it's going in the wrong direction. I'm not really sure how to fix that, but yeah, that is that. Because I was making like the cutout tapestry and I've just kind of been all over the place. In all honesty, my biggest issue is that I'm just all over the place with what I want to make. I want to make so many things. Like I have so many things going on that I'm like, oh, I can make this, I can make this. And like, I just designed another cutout tapestry and I'm like, I think this should be my first plushie also. I just found another like, I think it was initially made for like beading, and then I kind of adjusted it to how I liked it. I'll put it here, but I want to make this into a plushie so bad. Like, could you imagine this for my first plushie design? It's like a forest fox floral thing, like, but I don't know how to make plushie designs, you guys. But I want to bring it to life so bad, like in the back of my mind. So genuinely, I don't have time to play around with it. I have to make this purse. I have to start or continue making the sweater for my daughter for Valentine's Day. I have to start my
wearable that I'm doing for another video for what I'm supposed to wear for my Valentine's Day video, and I'm so excited. I just got the yarn for that. I did a weight 1 yarn, and this is my first time that I'm gonna work with a yarn that thin, but I'm excited. Like, I'm not nervous at all. I don't have any pattern tests. I did just complete a pattern test for this cutie. I love this. I think it came out so cute. The pattern is just for the teapot, and then you can embroider whatever you want on there. So I did lavender. I did lavender because you guys know I love purple. I can't think of anything else, but if I do, I'll pop back in and tell you guys. I am gonna go ahead and I'm on lunch, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this bag. And I'll bring you guys along with me while I start it. Because if I don't start it, here's what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna start it. I'm gonna willy-nilly around here, flutter, and do nothing. Or I'm gonna start something else, or I'm gonna start working on something else when I need to be working on this dang bag. Because I'm gifting it, see? Right, like that's what I keep telling myself. If I tell myself, you have to do this because you're giving it away and you want to give it away this weekend, which her birthday's today. So yeah, I would like to give it to her this weekend. So I'm gonna do that. This bag has been planned for so long. I even already have like the button, okay? I purchased the button for it. I was hyped. Last year, I was like, I can't wait to make this bag. And I don't know what happened. I just never did. I think maybe I used that Amazon yarn at Christmas and saw how terrible it was. And this is a whole different brand. It could be a whole different experience, but just, it kind of ruined Amazon yarn for me. And now I'm like, I'm gonna have to sit down and work with this yarn, and it's probably gonna be trash. So let me just go ahead and bite the bullet and get it done. I don't know if anyone else is like this, but if I don't have an exact list, or I work better with a list, because if I'm just trying to like go off what's in my brain I can't work like that. Like, I can't have a mental checklist or whatever. I need a physical checklist. I need to know exactly what I'm doing, because if I don't, I'll just do nothing or I'll procrastinate. Kind of like what I'm doing right now while talking to you guys. I'm on lunch. I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, also my brain, if I have too many things, I get overwhelmed and overstimulated really quickly. So what'll happen is, like, I'll have all of this stuff I need to do, but because it feels too heavy, like, I won't do any of it. Anybody else? Like, I'm just like, oh, okay, I'll doom scroll for 2 hours instead of doing any of the many tasks that are making me feel overwhelmed. Like, why do I do this? I don't know. So yeah, I have on my favorite comfort hoodie. I am chill. I'm gonna throw my hair up because it's trash today, and then I'm going to sit down.
Here is the T-shirt yarn. My first impression is that it's super soft, so no complaints there. And I was looking at the pattern, and this is the pattern, and my first issue that I'm noticing is that she says to use a 10mm hook, and the biggest hook size I have is an 8, so I'm gonna go for it with this 8 and see what happens. But I'm trying to see, like, this says recommended hook size is a 6. So what I'm gonna do is, like, the first few rows and see how gappy it is, and then if I have a lot of gappage, I don't know, whatever. If there's a lot of gaps, I'll go in and change the hook size back down, and hopefully it won't make the purse too small, but if so, mini bags are in. We'll see. All right, y'all, I'll check in again in a little bit. All right, you guys, first impressions, I like this yarn. It's really stretchy. I don't know why I look like this today. I don't know. I really like the yarn. It's really stretchy. I'm finding it like super easy to work with. I don't know, like I'm really impressed, kind of, and like kind of shocked and kind of more excited to create the bag. I'm not getting very much gapping, as you can see in my foundationless chain, because you guys know, if you're going to be chaining, if you're going to be working on the opposite side of a chain, and like, what do they call it, like doing rounds but starting with a chain, always do a foundationless chain, because that way you get perfect like crochets on the back side and on the top side. So like when you're working around, it just looks better. Honestly, first impression is I genuinely like it. I don't know if it's supposed to be this stretchy. I haven't worked with anything else. It doesn't necessarily give me like t-shirt vibes. It's not as cottony as I was expecting it to be. I thought it would be a lot stiffer. But honestly, I am not mad at this. So that is my first impression of this yarn. Now, here it is like kind of not stretched out, right? If we start stretching it, and that's the only other thing, like because it's a bag, you're gonna put stuff in it, that might stretch it out. So I'll have to keep that in mind. You know what? You know why I think I look weird today? It's my eyebrow. My eyebrow is really weird, right? Or at least it doesn't match. I don't know. Whatever the situation is, I am not feeling myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and, while I'm looking at myself, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up a couple of rows and then come back and see if I still feel the same. Okay? Okay. So it looks like I came across my first factory knot. I'm assuming because this knot came out of nowhere, I'm kind of tempted to cut it and then just rejoin, since I don't actually know which is going to be the inside and what's going to be the outside of my bag yet. So yeah, I think I'm going to cut it and then just join a new piece. That'll be much easier to weave in than trying to hide this knot here. So I've done a few rows and I must have done, my row count is right, but I must have done like a weird increase somewhere because my bag is obviously not right. So I'm going to start over. This didn't take me any time, but I'm going to do it later because I have to get back to work. But yeah, here's the bag so far. I love it, but it's wonky. I don't know. But I did end up having to open another skein of yarn. I had 2 more rows done, but then I just started frogging it because I realized like, okay, this is not going to correct itself. I have to start over. All right, you guys, third time is going to be the charm. I created my second one in the car rider line, and it was unbalanced also. And the way she wrote this pattern is just, but she gave a video for it. So I'm going to watch the video while I do the third one. And then if it's still not right, it's not me, you know. Her pattern isn't written in rows. Let me see here. Hold on. Where'd it go? So for example, just as an example, like it'll say something like this, right? But then when you never know when you're at the end of a round. That's one. So you don't know where you're supposed to put a stitch marker until you've already gone up like 3 or 4 rows. Sometimes each time I've done it, I'll do like what I assume is the sides of the bag where you do the increase, but then I always have like a random stitch left. And then her next comment is like, okay, single crochet 18. But I'm like, should I still have that random stitch there, or should I be working my 18 on the side? Like, it's just not coming out right. And so it's frustrating me, but I will go ahead and try it one more time and then see if it's me with using her video instead of using her pattern. Okay, you guys, so I wasn't tripping. I watched the video, and in the previous round, so I'm on round like step 24. She doesn't even do rounds. So on step 23, she has you put a stitch marker and do 40 a round. So I did that and I left the stitch marker, right? So you're coming back around on the next one and she says make two single crochet increases, and then she just moves on to do 19 single crochets. But I'm used to doing patterns where you finish out a round. So I'm like, there's this extra stitch, but she's including this stitch like into the next round. But then I wouldn't need a stitch marker because why would it matter? I genuinely don't like that. Like finish a round or a step or whatever you're going to call it, and then move on to the next one, right? Or is it just me? Oh, also in the video, she didn't put her stitch marker back. So I'm like, where's her stitch marker? And like, why doesn't it look like she's starting inside of a new round inside of an old round, right? Because we still have this one crochet left. Well, she doesn't have a stitch marker anymore. So that was part of my confusion, I guess. And my bag does look more balanced. I'm holding it at an angle, but it is better for sure. But she's still, the pattern is still odd. Okay, so the the bag is basically done, but I'm going back in and I'm whip stitching the handles again, because the first time I did it, I thought that the bag was laying weird. It like wasn't laying flat the way I thought it should be. And then second, I kind of started at the top on like the most visible side. She didn't specify that you should start your whip stitches at the bottom so that when you go to hide your ends later, you're not like hiding them along the top. So I went ahead and undid it, and then I'm restarting it at the bottom at the back. So when I'm finished with my whip stitches, you know, I'll be able to easily hide it without trying to make the bag look bad. And in order to find the lay, which she doesn't explain either, I kind of just laid the bag how I thought it should go, and then I'm doing it like that. Also, the pattern doesn't have a picture of the bag completed at all. You're kind of just hoping like your final product is right. I'll show, I guess I can show like right here, it's just like how you're whip stitching it together. In the entire pattern, there's no picture of the bag. Like this is the front page, and then important information, and the pattern just starts. And the very end is just whip stitching the bags together. So you kind of don't know what the heck you're doing for some of it, because, or like you're just hoping your bag kind of looks right at the end. I mean, it would have been nice to have a picture. So I'm gonna just finish whip stitching this and then I'll be back. Okay, so here's the finished bag with no embellishments or anything. You guys know I have to add the button that's gonna go there, and then I'm gonna add, I think I'm gonna do a Miffy keychain because Miffy is super popular right now. And then I'll also do some type of seed bead situation, and then I want to do a lip gloss keychain for it. I ended up using 250 grams. Is that what I'm thinking? Because each one of these is 100, right? Hold that thought. 100 grams, yes. So I used for sure 2, and then about half of this one. So for this tiny handbag, and it is small, I used 250. I don't mind the size, but the one that she made, if I had stopped on her rows, my bag would have only been like this big. So all of these additional rows I just added because she said you can add more if you need to, because I was probably using a different weight of T-shirt yarn, and I was definitely using a smaller hook, but I'm glad I did because there's less holes and I don't feel like I need to add a lining to this yarn. I actually really loved it. I'm bummed that I waited so long to do the project because I was thinking that the yarn was going to be so terrible. The factory knot, so I think in the previous clip I showed the first skein that I had opened had a factory knot almost immediately. I didn't have any other factory knots moving forward. That was the only one. And then this does have at least some care instructions, and it has some like for a mat, for a bag. So for here it says for a bag you need 5 to 7 skeins, but I mean, I guess it just depends on how big of a bag you're making. And I have more time tonight, so I will look into doing Miffy. And I also need to do some admin things. I need to figure out exactly what my schedule for February is going to be posting wise. But other than that, I have like all of the ideas in there, but I need to actually solidify which ones I'm doing for February so that I can budget it out. Okay, so that's the egg bag. I still have this yarn, and I still have a lot of time left this week. So I'm wondering if I should make another bag in this pretty green color. And I had purchased these during Christmas time, like in November, because I was like, oh, I'm going to make them for Christmas. And then I just didn't. I think I'm going to do a bag I saw on YouTube because I paid like $12 for this pattern, I think. And I don't think it was that great of a pattern. Like I've purchased quite a few patterns now, so I'm a little more aware of what is good and what isn't. And I'm not saying that it was terrible and you shouldn't purchase it. I'm just saying it wasn't my favorite. But I have seen a lot of YouTube videos for T-shirt yarn bags, so I think I'm going to do another one, and then that way I can compare the two. We'll see, because this only took me a few hours. Like, it was so fast. Okay, you guys know, I'm laughing at my daughter, sorry. You guys know that I said I had some admin things to do, and I just wanted to come on and show. Like, I had been feeling super unaccomplished about January. I was like, oh, I didn't really get anything done. And I was like, I only had one pattern test because January has been the longest month ever. But when I actually came in to look, like, I tested 3 patterns this month, and I did I don't put every single short I do, because on TikTok, I sometimes like respond to comments in a video, or I have all my supporters blanket videos. But any video that I like shot and kind of had to edit and things like that, I kind of put it in here. So I definitely did more shorts. I would say I probably did at least 15. And then I have my 4 YouTube videos, which is once a week. So, I mean, when I was thinking about like, man, this month, it kind of just didn't go the way I wanted. Like, it kind of did. I did quite a bit for this just being something I do on the side, you know, as someone who's a full-time mom and employee and everything else. So if you also struggle with feeling like you're not accomplishing anything or getting things done, I think that kind of laying it all out and just keeping track of it will just help in the long run. So, you know, in March, when I'm like, man, I'm not where I want to be, I can go back to this and I can see everything I've done so far. And I can say, okay, I've done everything I can do. You know, all I have left to do is wait. And, you know, it's all in God's timing. Whenever something's meant to happen, it'll happen, right? So yeah, just a little FYI if you're interested in this. And also, this will help me in like December, because, you know, everyone does like those year-in review videos, and you're like, what did I do this year? This is what you did this year. It's all here. So I really wanted to make my own like digital planner, but I just don't have the time. So I'm just using, why isn't it working? I'm using whiteboard on Canva, and you can kind of zoom in, like you can zoom in so much and like zoom out. I'm thinking for over here, I want to add some like patterns I purchased this month, and even like thoughts, like highs and lows, things like I can put for this month. So that way, when I get to whatever month or whenever, I can look back at January and be like, dang, I was feeling X, Y, and Z versus now I'm feeling this way. Easy to feel like you're not doing enough when it's just scattered. So yeah, that's my little tidbit. I finished Miffy. I didn't add a keychain ring because she is way too massive. And even if I did it with I did it in a size, where's my hook? A size 2.5 hook. Sorry. I use a size 2.5 hook, and she's huge. So she doesn't work for this bag, but never fear. There's always another bag charm that can be made. It just won't be this one. I think this would be cute on like a backpack though. Anyways, I'm going to brainstorm a few more ideas, but I'm not going to actually crochet anything tonight. I'll do more crocheting tomorrow. Here you guys are going to kind of get a glimpse into the chaos that is my mind. So I did the cherry ball in the T-shirt yarn, and I was like, okay, it's too big. So then I did it with acrylic yarn and a 4.5 hook. And then I was like, well, let me try the 3. But then I was like, let me try the 3, and I ended up liking the 3 better, so I'm gonna go with the 3. And then I was like, well, I haven't tried plush yarn yet, so let me try plush yarn. I have made like 5 cherries already. I am so indecisive because I'm always wanting things to be like not perfect, but just the best that they can, I guess, which isn't a bad thing. It just becomes overwhelming when you're trying to get things done. So I'm gonna try one more time I'm going to try the 3 hook with this. I don't know if it's going to work. If not, then I'll do a 4, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so here's my final keychain. I'll straighten out the leaves in a second. Ignore my desk. I did take off the bulky parts of the keychain because I just don't prefer that. But yeah, here it is. I made it removable, so if she doesn't like it, of course, she can just remove it from the bag. Okay, sorry, it's not focusing. So here is the cherry chain that I made for the bag. I'm not 100% sure how I want it to go on here. I don't think I want it the same as the last time where I do like a chain right in the center. Uh-oh. It's hard to record and hold my phone. I should put it on the tripod. But maybe I'll just kind of leave it like more casually hanging like that. Something like that. I don't know.
Okay, like I said, I made this little twisted headband. I was trying to make it to wear in one of my Valentine's Day videos, but I didn't like the way it came out. I don't think, oh, this way. I don't think that the hearts really look like hearts to me. They just kind of look like purple spots. I really wanted it to give like purple hearts in there. And also I feel like it came out very thick. Like when I put it on my head with my curly hair, it kind of like sits under it and pushes it funny. So I won't be wearing it, but it was a good experience in making it. I think if I were to make it again, I would use a thin weight yarn, like a 1 or a 2, just so it could be like really dainty and flowy and not be so kind of thick and like, even like this way, it just seems a little bit thick. So I would try it again with a thin weight yarn. The next thing that I created, and I kind of spent a lot of time on it in the background, was my cutout tapestry. I have always loved cutout tapestries, but when I would watch tutorials on it, I was so unsure if it was something that I would be able to do. So kind of bringing this idea of this Sony angel to life via cutout tapestry for my Valentine's Day decoration video, which is what I originally made this for, was definitely interesting. It isn't perfect. I went back to the original pattern that I created and I did edit it to make the proportions a little bit better. And I'll show you guys what I mean. So if you look at her head, it kind of looks like it needs to be like brought in a little bit more, and her shoulders and arms need to be brought out, as well as the toe area down here. I did bring that out in the new version of the pattern, and I definitely love the way the hat and the horns came out. It is my favorite part of the pattern. Oh, and the eyes. I just think they look so cheeky and cute. It was super fun to make. I am going to go ahead and use this one for my decorations video because I just don't have time to make an entire another one of the same project, because I have already created my next tapestry cutout like pattern and I'm super excited to get going on it. I'm not going to do it in any of my next like 2 videos because with this tapestry pattern, I want to make a matching plush, and it will be my first time trying to write a pattern. And I think I'm going to do a whole video bringing you guys along from start to finish on how I, as one, a beginner, and 2, someone who like has no clue what they're doing, tries to write this pattern. But it's going to be fun, right? It's going to be fun. So yeah, writing my first pattern, I'm really nervous and I'm kind of putting it on the back burner and trying not to think about it, because when I think about it, I get really excited, but the prospect of not being able to bring it to life kind of sucks. So we'll see it when we see it, or we won't. Without further ado, first I'm going to show you the free bag that I made from a YouTube tutorial. It's called the jelly bag, and I'll have the video linked below. It is in a Asian language. I don't want to say Chinese because it could easily be Mandarin. I'm not positive what language the video is in, but it's not in English, but I was still able to follow it and get this super cute bag. You guys, I love it. It's so cute. It's so dainty, and the pattern was free. It was really easy to make and it was so fast. I made this in a couple of hours because I'm slow. I bet if you're fast, you could probably make it literally in like 2 hours, maybe 1 even. For me, it took maybe like 3 or 4, but yeah. It is a little bit off center because in the tutorial, she tells you to watch your tension on your slip stitches and your chain ones, but it was in another language. So the captions were really good, but I wasn't paying attention. In the upper hand corner, she put like the pattern, so I was kind of like watching that. And they do increases and decreases different in the way that she writes it. So I remember watching the video and trying to see like what the numbers meant, and I heard her say like, be careful of your tension, like don't make it too tight, you want your bag to be, you know, around it. And I was like, oh, too late. But I did start to loosen up after that, and I was able to kind of rectify and save this bag for next time. I know that, you know, I need to keep my tension pretty loose and pretty consistent throughout the entire project, which is something that you're supposed to do anyway. But yeah, here is the teal jelly bag. And then the next bag I bought the pattern recently, but I purchased the yarn for it like back in November because I was so excited when I first saw this bag being posted on social media, like blowing up on social media, whatever you want to call it. And it's the egg bag. So here is my kind of rendition of the bag. I do like this bag. I like the way it came out. I really enjoyed working with the T-shirt yarn. It was my first time working with T-shirt yarn, so I was really, really nervous, but it actually might be one of my favorites. Like, I love how stretchy it is, and I like the way the stitches look so clear. And if you're a beginner, anything you make with this yarn, you'll be able to clearly see your stitches, clearly see everything you're doing, like into the stitches and coming out of them. I wish as a beginner, I would have made something with this, because it would have really helped me kind of understand the basics of what a stitch really looked like, what a row really looks like all these things that are kind of hidden when you're using really, really thin acrylic yarn or really, really fluffy plush yarn. You just can't see. But with this yarn, you can see everything. I love this bag now that I've added. I'm calling them bag bracelets. I don't know. They're so cute. They remind me of like when you wear like the stacked bracelets on your wrist. So I just made 3 of them. You've got the white with the drop cherries, a red and gold, and then a gold with a butterfly. And I'll bring that in so you guys hopefully can see it. Sometimes my camera does not focus. And then the cherries. This bag is a present for my niece. She just turned 16 and I adore her. She's so cute. She's my favorite 16-year-old. Granted, she is the only 16-year-old in my life, but she's so cool, and she probably thinks I'm cringe and is just accepting this because I made it for her. But I hope she likes it, and if she doesn't like the chains, I will remove them. I'm going to send her a picture of what I've kind of done with it, and if she doesn't like it, I'll remove it, because these are made with like a size 11 seed beads, and they are a pain to make. So if she doesn't want them, I'll just save them for another project. And also, I really do like the cherry. I'll probably make myself a necklace because it's so cute. But I kind of want a little bit bigger beads because these little dainty ones are just so hard to work with. Here is both bags. Let me know in the comments down below which one is your favorite. This is a free pattern on YouTube. I paid $12 for this one on Etsy. Which one do you like? Do you think this is worth $12, or I should have just stuck with the free pattern and made another one of these in red? All right, you guys, that's it. That's all for this video. I appreciate you being here and watching. If you made it this far, comment a little cherry emoji down there. Hey, baby. If there's no cherry emoji, give me a strawberry. Whatever fruit you can find, comment it down below. It's a baby. Bye, baby. Say bye-bye. All right, you guys. I'll see you next Monday for Valentine's Day decorations. Bye.